Yeah, it's just so much fun.
Inspiration can come from anywhere.
Most of the paintings I've done come from dreams.
Many artists create what they love most.
Mom said when I was a little boy, I was always pointing at airplanes.
Rick Broome dreamed of being a pilot.
I was fortunate to get accepted as a flight officer when I was only 22 years old, but I got furloughed.
A plan that never took flight. But along the journey, he found a gift that kept him in the sky. With brushes and paint, he captures moments.
I can get clouds to move.
Moments few others will ever experience.
It's like stained glass.
Feeling of a wingman beside the most historic aircraft ever built.
I think it's the starlight effect.
Using special light and acrylic paint.
So I change the frequency of light all the time.
Rick's mastered Colorado sunsets and mountain terrain.
I paint like Rembrandt. It's an old world style of painting where it's done with transparent paint. So to get those colors, there's literally 100 layers of paint or more.
Such a passion for planes, he even put one in his house.
Welcome aboard. I hired a broker to find me the cleanest 727 on the planet, and it was in a movie lot in Hollywood. Co-pilot, of course, pilot over here, the captain.
Rick sold his first painting 50 years ago. With the help of his wife, he now keeps track of the hours and orders in handwritten logs. Rare milestone numbers reserved upon special request.
This is for President Trump. He got number 3,000. And he loves it. He was really flattered, too.
Rick keeps the originals. Prints sell for thousands.
Did this painting for President Trump's inauguration, and I painted the White House.
Rick has painted for nearly every president, dating back to Gerald Ford.
That's him in the front seat.
John Denver bought this one. The singer died in a plane crash before it was finished.
Well, I knew him real well. He was a fan of my work. I'm still mad at him for not doing a checklist on that very easy that he lost his life in.
That's not the only pilot Rick painted for who died too soon.
Leroy Homer was the co-pilot on United Flight 93 that went into Shanksville. Great kid. That's so sad.
Rick paid homage to his country through painting.
This is the F-22 Raptor. It's done for the class of 22 at the Academy.
For decades, he's painted for the Colorado Air Force Academy, providing cadets with a keepsake to remember their dedication to the program.
Each class, I try to capture their individual spirit.
Hoping his love of aviation will soar long after he puts down the brush.
That's what I try to do, is to teach these young cadets the importance of history so that they will do a good job preserving it and protecting us.
John Glasgow, 9 News.
Rick, he has all kinds of stories over the years. Some of the highest ranking members of the Air Force have dropped by his studio. One time in the 1980s, a couple trespassed on his property after a party at the Broadmoor Hotel. Turned out to be Laura and George W. Bush. Bush was intoxicated. Rick nearly had him arrested, but instead the two bonded over planes. His dad was vice president at the time. Bush said that he never drank again after that, which is documented in his book. Then Bush went on to become the president. Rick says everything happens for a reason. He ended up painting a picture for George W. after he became president. So it goes full circle there, but such an interesting guy.
He's a crazy story, but he's got a ton of crazy stories. I remember, John, when you came back after meeting him and we were kind of sharing it around our desks and talking about all of this. He's such a fascinating human, but I want to know, when you were there, what were your first thoughts when you saw that plane inside his home?
Well, he had mentioned that he had a plane in his house, and then I thought, where? Because it doesn't look like his home is all that big, but then you walk in, he has that massive studio. It was an addition that he put on the house. He said it cost him, I can't even remember how much, it was thousands of dollars to have a crane bring that plane and drop it into his yard, and then he built the addition around it. So
the price tag does not matter when you see a plane inside somebody's home. You know that was pretty pricey right there.
Right.
Yeah, it was something else. But yeah, he's such an interesting guy. I mean, Colin Powell's another one that dropped by there. He apparently hit his head and the blood went on his painting, and that painting now is one of his most expensive paintings.
Wow.
In fact, some of these, he says, are worth almost $1 million, the original painting, but the prints there sell for thousands.
Wow. Well, thank you for introducing us to him this morning, John. That was a great story. We appreciate it.